could coil them up to tie me with.
Hi everyone, it's Caitlin. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys and kind of briefly showing you how I make zines. Let me turn you down a little bit because you're way up there. Hello. Now you're too low. Okay, sorry y'all. I'm new at this. Anyway, so I have made probably 10 zines in my life. I'm by no means like an expert. I've never mass produced them. Honestly, a lot of times, like, I make them as gifts. I think that they make really good gifts. Like, I made one for my ex about, like, where we went different places over the course of our relationship, and I gave it to him for Christmas. I made my current boyfriend one that was more like a comic book. But you could literally, like, make them about anything. I have a huge collection of zines. Like, I went through a phase of, like, probably 3 years long of when I just like bought them because they're usually sold pretty cheap, which is kind of a cool idea too. Like if you make them, you could sell them. So anyway, I took a stab at it one time, and honestly, like, it took me a lot of trial and error to kind of figure out what I was doing. And every single time I make one, I go through a lot of trial and error. So it is like kind of difficult to get the hang of, but I'm just going to kind of show you the basics and then like let you guys go from there. When I was trying to figure out how to make one, there wasn't really a lot like on YouTube guidance wise. I mean, there's a lot of ones to make like mini ones, but like I didn't want to do that. Like I wanted like a full size one, right? So this is the zine that I'm going to be showing you how I made. I'm actually using this as a portfolio. I think that it's a really cool like touch in job interviews, like to go in with a zine as a portfolio as opposed to like a scrapbook or whatever. So, and this is something that they can keep. I can just throw it in with my resume. So yeah, it's about a medium sized one, but you could do any size, I guess. So I'm just showing you, kind of flipping through. That's what the back looks like. You'll be able to see kind of what I'm doing as I go along in this video, but it's really basic. So yeah, thank you for coming to my channel. I hope you guys enjoy. Buckle up because we've got some really exciting shit to get into. And yeah, feel free to leave me any questions about anything. And keep in mind that I'm not an expert YouTuber, and I'm also not an expert zine maker. So, all right, good luck to both of us. Thanks. So the first thing that you're going to want to get is some sort of decorative background. I got mine from the scrapbook section at Hobby Lobby. They were like $4 for $1. The next thing you'll need are scissors and a paper cutter. And then lastly, you'll want just your content. Like, what do you want to put on your pages? Washi tape is really nice to have because you can add like decorative borders and you can use it to attach things. Stickers to fill in any negative space on the page, just to kind of, you know, make it more interesting. And I like to use various letters for little title cards for my zines. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and line everything up on my page and get it all exactly where I want it. And then I'm going to go in and attach it. So I'm going to use washi tape to attach mine just because I think that it looks really cute like that. But you definitely want everything nice and secure on there, stuck to it enough so that when you flip it over to scan it in, things aren't going to fall off or flip. And then now I'm just going in and adding a little sticker to that empty space there, giving it a little flavor. Next thing you want to do is scan it in. So just lay everything really nice and flat on the scanner and straight. And then you'll want to save it to either your desktop or a file, but you want to label everything really nicely, like in a way that you'll understand, like page 1, page 2, etc. So now I'm just showing you how I am going in Microsoft Word. You'll hit document, and then you'll hit page setup, and you'll go in, and I'm using legal size paper, so I'm changing that, and I'm also changing it to a landscape. You can also go in and set all your margins to 0, and that'll give you more room to kind of adjust everything on your page. Now I'm going in and I'm inserting a picture, so this will be page 1, and I'm throwing it in there, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw in my other page. So it's important to remember that when you are doing this, that you'll want to start with page 1. So like say you have 14 pages, page 1 and page 14, and then you're going to flip it over, and on the back you're going to print page 2 and page 13, and so on and so on. That way when you fold everything together, all of your pages will be in order. And now I'm just spacing everything out, making sure that everything's nice and even, and I just use my space bar to do that. And once you get everything spaced out the way that you want, you can print. But to kind of keep your spacing the same, you can go in and hit change picture by right-clicking on your picture. And that way you're not going to mess up your spacing every single time. You don't have to start a new document or anything. You could just hit change picture and it'll keep all your spacing the same, which is a nice little trick. So here I am just printing out my pages. And after you get everything printed out, you'll just want to line them up and create a crease by folding them down the middle. And then now I'm going to sew all of my pages together along the crease. You can also use staples to do this, but you just want to make sure that you have a really good attachment there. So here I am just flipping through, checking for any loose threads or anything, and I found one. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that off. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and with my paper cutter just trim along my border because I wanted to get rid of that. But you also might have pages that didn't lay down right, so it's just good to kind of run it through a paper trimmer and get all that off. So here I am just lining everything up, making sure that everything's straight, and then I'm just going to cut along the borderline. And then after you trim, you just want to go in and make sure that you didn't chop off anything that's important or anything. Take your time and go slow when you do this because you just did a lot of work and you don't want to cut off like an important word or something like that. So making sure that everything's lined up really nice to begin with. Like making sure that your spacing is accurate and the same on every page is really helpful. Making sure that you're folding really nice and even before you attach the pages together is really helpful, and it just saves you a lot of time later. And now I'm gonna go in and make my final cut. So just lining everything up and then this paper cutter was like $4 at Hobby Lobby. It was really inexpensive, so you don't need a lot of expenses to make this. And I am done, y'all. That's how it looks when you're finished. Nice little zine. Alrighty. Thank you.